G'day guys, welcome to this Wednesday edition of the show where I report on the latest in gaming news. And if you guys do enjoy today's video, please remember to smack the like button as always. And now, let's get into our first gaming news report of the day. And it's to do with the Xbox One and PS4 1080p debate. The developer for the upcoming game Thief said that all this kind of stuff will eventually auto-balance itself out. As you may or may not know, currently games on the PS4 running at 1080p, 60 frames per second, not having much trouble at all. And then on the Xbox One side, you've got games running at more around 900p and 45 frames per second. And that also goes for Thief because the reboot runs at 900p and 30 frames per second on the Xbox One. Now what the developer is trying to push across is that this is an early development cycle of the consoles. Basically, it's still early with these consoles, just like we saw with the 360 and PS3, they will eventually work with these things and learn to work around. So essentially, the developer is saying that once they actually figure out how to completely work with these new consoles, we'll be able to get 1080p on both systems and 60 frames per second on both systems. The entire read's actually quite interesting, so if you are into all this kind of stuff, I definitely recommend you check it out down below. It's linked down in the description. Anyway, that is it for that opening piece of news. Now, we go over to something we haven't had in a while, which is the sad news. Sad news! What the fuck? So, today's sad news is actually quite sad because it looks like Irrational Games are closing. If you're unaware, Irrational Games are the studio behind the BioShock series. So for this to happen to the studio that made BioShock Infinite last year and they actually had a chance of winning Game of the Year, and seeing them close their doors this year, that's kinda scary for the whole gaming industry. Now, Ken Levine, one of the founders of Irrational Games, actually posted a message on the website. Basically, he thanks everyone he's worked with, he's proud of what he's done, and then he goes on to say what's next, which is them basically opening up a small studio. So yeah, with all that being said, it sucks that Irrational Games is closing, but on the bright side of things, they're opening up a new studio, so hopefully that brings some cool stuff in the future. But anyway, now it is time for the segment known as the Big News. Big News! So, we have two news reports to get to in today's big news, and our first one is for something that we haven't actually been shown much of, just a few screenshots here and there, and that is the Order 1886. And well, that continues today with the new trailer, which doesn't really show off too much. It's meant to be a trailer that shows off some gameplay and things like that, but in reality they didn't show too much. Now on a side note, there is some leaked gameplay stuff online which I can't show or link to you guys here. You can, I guess, Google for that stuff. But in this official trailer from Sony, this PS4 exclusive does look pretty good from what we actually get to see in it. Anyway, moving from a PlayStation 4 exclusive into a game that's already out but it's an Xbox One exclusive, it's Rise Son of Rome. Because on the 28th of February we'll be getting some new DLC coming out, and it's going to be called the Mars Chosen Pack. If you're wondering, this DLC doesn't continue the story or anything like that, but instead it contains a new 2-player co-op survival mode, 4 new maps for Gladiator mode, and yeah, that's what you'll get for the DLC next week on the 28th of February for Rise Son of Rome. But yeah, that is it for today's gaming news. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and now let's get to the Gorilla Man question. Thank you, Gorilla Man. Okay guys, the question is, what is your favorite car or vehicle from any game and why? So put your answer down below in the comments section. You can end up on the next show. Today's video, make sure you remember.